Mr. Delgado, what is the relationship between unions and affordable housing?
We're trying to make that relationship a little bit better than what it is right now. The sad part is that sometimes our own members cannot afford that affordable housing units that they're claiming to have. And most of those affordable housing that the mayor wants to build, I would say 98% of them are built non-union with unqualified labor force. And you know what? It has become a struggle for those workers who are being exploited. Homes have not been built properly, and has become an issue for us because if it's affordable housing, it should be affordable for who? For the people that live in those communities, for our members, for every member who belongs to our union or somebody who works out there. And most of the times, our own members can't even afford to live in those affordable housings that we call them, because their criteria, and then they're built with such cheap labor that they fall apart sooner than what anybody anticipates.
And that cheap labor, does it have the proper training as far as you're concerned?
As far as I understand, no, they don't. Their lack of training, and not only lack of training, but they're in lack of exploiting, the contracts are exploiting the system that we have in these days. I believe that New York City itself is losing millions and millions of dollars in revenue that's not being paid to the city because of lack of proper identification of these laborers on unemployment insurance, benefits. We need to catch up with these people and let them know that, you know what, they should be paying unemployment insurance, they should be paying medical. That's coming out of us, you and me. It's coming out of the labor force out there that's working out there. And you know, we need to hold these contractors accountable that if they do employ someone, they should at least give them some sort of medical, pay taxes on them, because we all need to pay taxes in this country.
Tell me about the status of immigrant workers on construction sites in this area.
You know what, I think that one of the biggest downfall that New York City has is that they're allowing a lot of, and I'll go back to this affordable housing because we find it more and more in this affordable housing. They're allowing these contractors to build this affordable housing without guidelines, rules, and regulations that could be implemented. So they're hiring this, I don't know who they are, whether they're illegal immigrants, whether they're undocumented, whoever they are, which I'm not against anyone working, as long as you contribute to the system, as long as you're able to support the infrastructure of the city is what we need to be supported. And a lot of them are not being supported, and we, the construction workers, we, the tax-paying people of New York City, wind up supporting that infrastructure for those contractors who are taking that extra money. And again, I'll quote on this, that extra money, and putting it into their pockets and becoming very wealthy on exploiting these poor illegal immigrants or undocumented workers, whichever you want to call them. But they're exploiting them and taking that money and putting them into their own pocket, becoming wealthy on them, and building bigger and bigger buildings for their own well-being.
Why is it Labor Local 79 became involved in the Coney Island project?
Well, it's a very important project to make sure that community and labor gets involved in a project that could pay a significant amount of money to workers. We have an apprenticeship program, and we're asking communities to come and join our Labor's Local 79 through the system that we have in place. And a lot of these young ladies and gentlemen, they're being misplaced. And we want these communities to bring their children, their youngsters, to our local. We invite them to bring them in, be members of Local 79, develop a career, a job. And because if you can develop good construction jobs in these communities, we could provide them with medical, pension, welfare, and eventually a career that could lead to a great life. And most of the young people in these days in a lot of communities don't have a place to fall into. And I believe that Local 79 could be that bridge that could link between the union and the community in Coney Island to be able to help those youngsters in Coney Island to have a better life in the future.
Is Labor Local 79 a diverse union?
Well, certainly. Very diverse union. If you look at my executive board, it's a very diverse executive board. If you look at the members of Local 79, we're composed of all different type of members, different type of ethnic backgrounds. Myself, I consider myself a minority, a person who came from Puerto Rico many years ago, person who worked in construction myself as a labor. And today I sit here with humbleness and yet great, pride that I hold one of the most valuable and most respected positions in the labor movement. So I do encourage anyone out there, depending on your race, color, or creed, not to give up on yourself and join somewhere where they can welcome you into a union and be part of it. Because I would have never dreamed 27 years ago when I joined this union that today I'd be sitting in this chair representing almost 10,000 laborers in my local, 17,000 laborers in the district council as secretary treasurer of that council. So yes, we are a very diverse union, and we welcome everyone with open arms.